full-time MMA?
MMA.
Nothing
Yeah.
else?
My life, man, yeah.
Or is this full-time MMA now?
I love full-time MMA right now.
Back to the daily grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back pickle biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time
MMA.
It's bad news for El Kukui and all the hardcore MMA fans that were looking forward to Tony Ferguson versus Conor McGregor. And I'll tell you why I believe it's bad news. Bad news. Because Conor McGregor's team, every single person on Conor McGregor's team, all of them, are insinuating at Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz trilogy. What is his name? Owen Roddy, I believe. Also John Kavanaugh, also Freddie Roach. All of them are saying they want Nate Diaz next, and instead of Tony Ferguson. And this guy, I gotta get his name right because he had some good shit. Owen Roddy. This guy had some good shit to say for the reason. Hey, Conor McGregor's team, they've always got like the best, like it's like the subtle diss, like it's cold as fuck the way they do it. Like even John Kavanaugh, when he's talking about like why Nate Diaz should get the next fight, he's like, yeah, you know, these other guys, they're really just not on Conor's level. I think he would run through them too easy. Nate Diaz can take the shots. That's pretty much what Owen Roddy's saying. Listen to how he eloquently like denies the Tony Ferguson fight. He says, I think the one unique thing Diaz has is just an unbelievable chin. I don't think Ferguson will be able to take the shots that Diaz took. I think he would be asleep or the ref would have stepped in and he would have stopped the fight if Conor lands. Where Conor was landing all the shots on Diaz as well. Conor was landing all the shots on Diaz well, and all the other stuff that we came up with worked against Diaz, and he just kept coming and coming and coming. I don't think Ferguson is as durable as Diaz, so I think we'll be well able to land the shots. You know, there's plenty of holes in there in Ferguson's game, and I think we can capitalize and land any shots that we need to land. So he's saying the reason that Conor McGregor, he wants to see Conor versus Nate, is because we see Tony Ferguson get ate up a little bit too much in the first round, and you know, the fans want to see a fight. They don't want to see Conor McGregor Jose Aldo rematch. They don't want Conor McGregor to sleep Tony Ferguson in 13 seconds. No, they want to see the Nate Diaz fight because Nate Diaz has the chin to take Conor shots and make it a fight. That's pretty hilarious. But he just got a little bit of a point, bro. I understand, he's actually a point. I just fucking am like, I'm not here. I'm not the guy that believes, I don't know. I'm not the one that's gonna fucking complain too much if it's a Conor knocks someone out in 13 seconds. That shit's still dope. I gotta see Tony Ferguson get his shot. But that's me, and I know a lot of hardcore fans echo that sentiment. But I'm telling you, if you go up to a fucking casual fan right now, if I pulled the microwave in here right now, I'm gonna say, who should Conor fight next? He might not. Well, actually, he watched UFC 216. I don't know how many casual fans actually did that. Michael's starting to become a little bit of a hardcore fan. Let me tell you that. In our conversations, hey, he's been up in MMA a little bit. I'm telling you right. I heard him talking about UFC. Side note right here, but guys, my apologies. A lot of you guys know the microwave. Well, I heard him talking to some of our friends, and he was like, well, what the fuck are y'all gonna be watching this Saturday? What are you talking about? That real shit's on. UFC 216's on, man. Like, that's not even a huge card, you know what I'm saying? So he was pretty pumped for it. So I was like, yo, hey, he's not about to be too casual anymore. I think he's gonna start coming along. But with that being said, a casual fan might not, there's a lot of people that are going to pick Nate Diaz over Tony Ferguson for Conor McGregor's next fight, because even though some people know about Tony Ferguson's winning streak and the interim belt scenario, a lot of people want Nate Diaz. But that's the problem. Tony Ferguson's holding the interim belt now. That's fact. So whether Owen Roddy believes Conor McGregor would knock out Tony Ferguson too fast, so it wouldn't really be as exciting for the fans because Nate Diaz can take the shots, or maybe he believes Nate Diaz would be a bigger challenge because he can take the shots. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything about the fact Tony Ferguson has the interim belt and he's not injured. He's ready to fight. It's not the Robert Whittaker scenario where Robert Whittaker was injured, so George St. Pierre got to skip him for the title fight. No, Tony Ferguson's not injured. He's not letting nobody get that title fight. He's ready for fucking McNuggets, as he's calling him. And hey, that's starting to have a ring to it. He's been saying that for a while now, Tony Ferguson, McNuggets, and I like it. I mean, I know a lot of people have called him McNuggets, but at the same time, I think Tony Ferguson's taking a hold of the... Oh, I gotta talk about fucking... I'm doing it on this video, because I'm not making a whole separate video about this fucking corny shit. Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson came on Ariel Helwani's fucking show, named his fucking move the Mighty Wiz Bar. Boy! Hey, the fans gotta agree with the name, bro, so you gotta come up with something dope, dog. I'm not about to come and go around to my friends, hey, you guys see the Mighty Wiz Bar? Yeah, it's one of the best moves in MMA history. Demetrius Johnson put it off. Yeah, the old Mighty Wiz Bar. No. Who was it? John Morgan? Somebody, one of these fucking MMA analysts, reporters came up with the mousetrap. That shit really took off by storm. They were talking about the mousetrap on the UFC Unfiltered podcast, blah, blah, blah. That's probably the most popular one. The one I thought of that I really like is the Mighty Bar, which is a lot closer to the Mighty Wiz Bar. So the Mighty Bar, turn that shit into some motherfucking protein bars. What do you talking about? I want to fucking some Mighty Bars right now. Every time I take a fucking bite of the Mighty Bar, I'm thinking motherfucking Ray Borg getting thrown into the air and thrown into the fucking Mighty Bar that I'm taking a bite of. What the fuck you time at? I want to see commercials with that fucking replay of Demetrius Johnson pulling the Mighty Bar off on Ray Borg and fucking edit his fucking CGI his fucking head looking over and winking and going, gotta love the Mighty Bar. Let's fucking go! What are you talking about? The Mighty Wiz Bar. I mean, you can still make a protein bar out of the Mighty Wiz Bar. It's just one extra fucking word for nothing, man. So what do they say? Fucking shorter and I don't know the fucking term. Simpler makes better. I don't know the fucking term, but I wanted a Mighty Bar. And he pissed me off with that Mighty Wiz Bar shit. Alright, I digress. You get the point. But alright, Dana, oh yeah, so this is the reason I really did this video. Not just because Conor McGregor's team is saying they want Diaz, but it's because if Conor wants Diaz, bro, he's got the power. If Dana says, no, sorry, Conor, you got to fight Tony. Conor's like, okay, how about I just don't fight? How about I just go film the next season of Game of Thrones and go be in the next fucking transporter and then take Michael Bisping's role in Triple X? Because if I'm not mistaken, they said that role was supposed to go to Conor McGregor, but he couldn't take it. He was training to fight or something, so Bisping got it. But I'm just saying, Conor McGregor's already a fucking star, bro. I'm not talking about Ronda Rousey Roadhouse movies, because I didn't never watch a Roadhouse movie. That ain't my steez. I'm talking about Conor McGregor's going in everything. You can put Conor McGregor in a motherfucking Roadhouse, a action movie, a Fast and the Furious, like literally any fucking thing. Conor McGregor's that dude. What the fuck are you talking about? So he don't have to fight again. So if he says, hey, you know what? Yeah, I know you want me to fight Tony Ferguson, but I want to make as much money as possible before I get out of this bitch. Because I don't like the way you're coming to me. I might get out of this bitch today. So I want to fight Nate Diaz. You know you want more money. This fucking business, let's be real. You want to please some people with the Tony Ferguson fight? But I tell you what, fuck the belts. I want the money. Fucking St. Patrick's Day Nate Diaz. Then all I'm saying is Dana White's gonna have to listen. He's gonna have to think about it. And if Conor McGregor's firm, who knows what's gonna happen? Because until John Jones gets cleared, if he does, which he's probably not going to, the UFC needs Conor McGregor like fucking cereal needs milk. Wait, cereal doesn't really need milk. You get the fucking point. Well, I guess the UFC. And Dana White has said if the Conor McGregor does go against them, it'll be an epic fall. In the past, this was before the Floyd Mayweather fight. Oh, I don't know. Hopefully this gets figured out soon, because it's already October 11th. Fucking UFC 219, December 30th in Las Vegas is where we're really, really hoping Conor McGregor fights. Dana White has said Conor McGregor wants to fight before the end of the year, but his team has said he definitely won't be fighting before the end of the year. Something's going on here. Conor McGregor's lying to somebody, bro. Conor McGregor, or somebody's like literally Dana White and Conor McGregor's teams are like literally have been on two separate pages for a while now. Like Dana White saying he wants to fight before the end of the year. He's gonna defend the belt versus Tony Ferguson. Fucking Conor's coach John Kavanaugh saying, well, yeah, he's definitely not fighting before the end of the year. We would like a fucking trilogy fight with Nate Diaz on St. Patty's Day. That's what I'm thinking. You know, he did say that's his personal thoughts. Maybe he's not talking to Conor as much as Dana, but one of these two dudes ain't communicating with Conor. Or because here's another one of Conor's coaches coming out and saying we want the Nate Diaz trilogy fight over the Tony Ferguson fight. So are they talking to Conor? Is he giving them that idea? Are they putting this out here because Conor wants that out here? I don't understand. You know, if Tony Ferguson's the interim title holder and Dana White literally said he's next, and that's another thing about this. Dana White has said shit before that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? He's not known for being 100% honest every fucking day of the week. So even if he says a fight's happening, something might happen. So who knows what the fuck's about to happen. It's interesting to see how his coaches say one thing and then Dana White kind of tells us another thing. Or his coaches, though, they kind of seem like they're more speaking on their own accord. Like, this is what they want, the Nate Diaz fight. And maybe it's because they get a percentage. They know they get the biggest. I mean, I don't want to say that about Conor's coach, but I mean, I know that's got to go into everybody's mind. I mean, except for a really, really, really dope coach, you know, that doesn't care about the percentage. But when you're making a percentage of somebody's pay, of course you want them to get the bigger fights. We just had that scenario where Ronda Rousey's fucking coach is talking about, yeah, I want to see Ronda come back one more fight versus Chris Cyborg. It's like, huh? Bro, she just coming off of two pretty bad losses, knockout losses, and you want to see her go in there and fight somebody bigger? Like, it's looking like it's because he wants the percentage of the cut. You know, that's the biggest fight for Ronda Rousey. He would make the most money out of it. Misha Tate said he's trying to fucking clear up his fucking bankruptcy issues or something. Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting when a coach campaigns for the highest dollar fight. That's always interesting, because if you're getting a percentage, it can start to look bad really fast whenever you're looking for the biggest money fight for your fucking dude. You know, because in my head, just off of, you know, as a MMA coach, a lot of the times you think these guys are the purists that want to see the sport, you know, defend, like you want to see the champs defend their titles and yada yada. So when you're a coach that comes out kind of leaning for the money, I don't know, it just looks bad to me. I don't know if it does to you guys. Maybe it's the truth. Maybe he just thinks Tony Ferguson wouldn't be as much of a matchup. I don't see how that's possible. That's just not my opinion. So with that being said, it is what it is. Let the haters know what the fuck you think about this stuff in the comments. I mean, what do you think about Dana White saying one thing, his coach is saying another thing? I mean, it's really interesting to me. And what do you think is next for Conor McGregor? I'm hoping and I'm thinking Tony Ferguson, but hey, who knows in the wild world of the UFC. But we'll catch you next time on the wild world of the UFC. It is what it is. Let me know what the fuck you tell me in the comments. I'm out. The dudes that hate on the full-time family are the type of dudes that come out of the shower with a towel wrapped around their head.
Bye, Felicia.